Okay, I don't know exactly where to start this, but I'm just gonna talk about how I'm feeling right now. Welcome to Mental Health Mondays. It's a little series that I think I'm gonna start and upload to YouTube. I'm here right now via Twitch, and here to talk about mental health. And anybody that wants to talk about mental health is welcome to talk about it with me. And we can discuss different topics as long as they're a general topic and nothing off the wall, slash religious, slash political. I'm perfectly okay with that. Now, I got to pick a subject for mental health because it covers a wide variety of categories. I want to start with men's mental health. Large majority of men's mental health goes unrecognized, goes unnoticed. It goes, hey Ashley, thank you for being here. It goes generally unrecognized and unnoticed. That's because the general population normally doesn't care about me or the large majority of men. And that's just sad. If the category is about men's mental health, people wave it off. They don't care. The large consensus of people do not care. And another sad thing about men's mental health is the suicide rate is higher, much, much higher for men than it is for women. It's statistically proven. And the demographic for that suicide rate is between 25 and 45 years old. I'm right smack dab in the middle of it. I'm at that age where, mental health, loneliness, intrusive thoughts, all those negative things creep in and they start to affect your psyche and your day-to-day operation. And social media also has a role in that too. A lot of people are just they just want to be known, they want to have recognition, they want to have validation, they want to be famous, they want to be, the next somebody. When in reality, at least in my opinion, social media has ruined a lot of people's lives because it consumes you. It becomes part of your day to day life, whether it's Twitter or X, whatever, Facebook, Instagram, um, Snapchat, TikTok, you name it. People are always in the seek and chase of validation, and that's bad. It used to be when I was growing up in the 90s, if you had a problem, you talk to somebody in person about it, or you talk over the phone, phone call, landline, whatever you want to call it. I remember dial up. I remember MySpace. I remember Yahoo Instant Messenger and AOL. That was when like internet and messaging people really started to take off and become ease of access to talking to other people. Now you have hundreds, if not more, ways of platforms, whether it be streaming services, social media, um, television, anything internet related. There are hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of websites you can go on, get your kick or your daily fix. Me personally, I don't use TikTok. I think it's demoralizing and it's an indoctrination against a lot of men's mental health. I don't use Snapchat. I don't use Instagram. I do use Facebook and I do use X, and that's about it. I don't want to go see all this negativity that is being casted around the internet. And I know if you don't like it, don't watch it. That's a very good consensus to go by. But coming from a man's perspective, a large majority, nobody gives a shit what I'm going through. the just the overall, God, it's hard to put into words. If I died tomorrow, nobody would give a shit. Now, if I was some famous celebrity, I'd be all over the news, or I would at least get a mention. God, you're gonna call me old now. I would get a mention in the newspaper or an article or somewhere like that of something happening. And mental health needs to be addressed. It needs to be talked about more. People need to stop tiptoeing around it like it's this sensitive subject. It's not. Mental health is this thing that everybody suffers from. I don't care who you are, everybody suffers from it in one way or another. It's this disease that eats at you day to day, every day of your life. And for some people, it's worse because they let it eat at them. They let it consume them and let it become their personality. And I hope not to ever become that kind of person. My goal here, not as just as a streamer, as a gamer, or whatever you want to call it, I enjoy making people laugh because it eases my pain. I enjoy easing people's days because it lessens and the harshness of reality of my world that I live in. And if I can do that to one person, if I can make one person smile, that takes away some of the pain, and honestly does. I don't talk about my personal life a lot because it's not a pretty picture, and I'm not going to talk about it right now. Maybe in a future episode I'll dive into some small condenses of it, but not right now. I was walking earlier. I walk as part of my exercise. I walked 2 miles in 45 minutes. Actually, I think it's under 45 minutes. And I let my mind wander, and I have something playing in the background. And I think to myself, you know, society has really depended on the internet for multiple things. Some people use the internet for income, but the wide majority of it is entertainment, drama. And drama is not something you should strive to seek because drama adds more weight in your life and it adds more pain, in my opinion. Your number one goal should be to focus on yourself and how to make yourself happy. Everything else is everything else. Mental health is a detachment from oneself. That doesn't make a lot of sense. I'm sorry. I'll try to explain it. Mental health is an extension of some people to some people. My mental health pours all over my streams. It pours all over my YouTube videos. It pours on to my relationships, my friendships, my family, my friends. And you see this cheerful guy who tries not to let life bother him, tries not to let all this negativity bother him. And I would be lying to you if I said it didn't. But you have to allow yourself a little bit of pain in small doses in order to conquer mental health. Because if you take it all at once, you're going to come in this spiral and you're never going to come out of it unless something or someone pulls you out of it other than yourself. And if you can't pull yourself out of that pain, you're in a lot of trouble. I'm in pain every day. In here and in here. But I try not to let that convey into my day-to-day life. Like I said before, I try to make people smile. I try to make people laugh. I try to be an entertainer. But entertaining is hard to do when you don't know what happiness and joy feels like. And over time, recently, I've learned to embrace joy and embrace happiness because those are the fundamentals of life. It's hard to be open, it's hard to be vulnerable because that's when you're at your weakest state. And a person with bad intentions will take that vulnerability in an instant. You give them an inch and they'll take a mile, the old saying. It's just hard. Sometimes it's just so damn hard to go through life day to day. And there's a lot of people that have it worse than me, and I understand that. I also realize on the opposite side of the coin, there's people that have it better than me. There's people that don't have to work a day in their life and they still complain about something so minor. It's like a millionaire complaining about the price of a cup of coffee at a Starbucks or something. It makes no sense. If I were in that person's position to where I never had to worry about money again, I wouldn't complain about anything because it's not always about money, it's about the mindset that you have. And that person's mindset is not something that I can relate to because I'm a person that never had a lot of money in their life. See this? See that? You see this? I bought this with my own blood, sweat, and tears from when I was working. This laptop, this camera, this TV, this Xbox, I paid with my own blood, sweat, and tears from my own body. And I can take some solace in that because I come home either from work or from walking or an outing, and I see my hard work paid off, the amount that I did. I have outlets of entertainment myself, ironically enough. I watch a lot of YouTube, a lot of YouTube. Sometimes I watch stuff that I've watched over repeatedly again. Sometimes I watch things that are brand new, but I like a certain niche of things. There's certain things that I like that nobody else likes. And that's perfectly fine because that's part of my own individuality. I don't want somebody like me. I want different people. I want different people to meet. If you I don't want this giant echo chamber of people that all believe like I do. I really don't. Because the definition of insanity is trying the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. You have to allow yourself to be uncomfortable sometimes, especially in certain situations like topics, you name them. And being open to different interpretations and different topics allows for your brain to think differently than it did 5 seconds ago. I watch YouTube to ease my mental health and my mental stress that I go through. I don't know what else to talk about right now. I don't have any questions from anybody in chat or anything. So I think, at least for the time being, this is a good introduction. This is a good way to start this series off. And maybe I'll do more of these in the near future. It may be a series next Monday, who knows? But thank you all for supporting me. I love your mental health talks. Thank you, Twisted Angel Demon. I really appreciate that so much. I'm going to call it there. Thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Maybe I'll see y'all next Monday. Who knows? I'm going to transfer you guys over my buddy, Chrisology. He's playing some Black Ops 6. Go give him the follow. Go give him a follow. Give him some love. Tell him I sent you. Thank y'all for watching. Take care.